Welcome aboard. It's Captain G to turn 3 of HBG's Battle of Midway. Things are picking up steam really quickly here. Before we get into the tokens, the command tokens for surveillance, well, phase 1 is you set your deck and you choose reinforcements. Knowing that they had the Midway force coming back, the Japanese set every carrier on recovery operations to recover the Midway attack force. The U.S. gave up one command token to bring in the Hornet task force just south of Point Luck. In reconnaissance, both Japanese recon seaplanes were successful in their roles in identifying. The way that process works, you roll 2 dice for the reconnaissance aircraft, 1 for the ships, and whichever side has the highest dice, so obviously the aircraft gets a 2-to-1 advantage, succeeds. And both Japanese succeeded. Now, one correction last time, I thought any failures had to head back toward their launch point, but actually they just jumped there immediately. So last turn's failure is already on Midway. This turn, both these units failed to find the Japanese. They outrolled them. I think they rolled like 11 and 12 versus a lot of lower numbers for these 2 units. So they're back here at Midway. So what failed, coming back up here where we were with the Japanese task force, they failed to find this battleship group. They failed to find the Hiryu and the Soryu in Carrier Group 2, but they did find success, luckily, Carrier Group 1, and so the entire Midway wing moved up here in the command phase, and the U.S. lucked out and they got back-to-back, so they were able to move up the torpedo bomber from down here, as well as the Midway Air Group with those bombers. So all of that struck. We use the battle board. You place the carriers in the middle, then the cruisers and destroyers, and then you roll for the aircraft coming in, and they work their way towards the center with anti-air firing at every step of the way, except the bombers. They fly too high, so they are not subject to anti-air. All of that, the U.S. lost the medium bomber, the torpedo bomber, and 1 dive bomber. But the remaining dive bombers got 3 hits, 3 out of 4 dice rolled. We got 1 hit on the Akagi, the flagship, and 2 on the Kaga, which impacted the Japanese landing ability, their ability to land aircraft, if I did that correctly. So the U.S. got back-to-back, then a rain squall, our 3rd straight one, and then the Japanese got 2 command tokens. They brought their Midway aircraft back, and then it was the battle. So they did not get to draw their command tokens to send these guys on to Midway. So they're still waiting until turn 4 to finish off Midway, and already this first group, so these guys versus historical, this Midway air wing had much more success. Landing the cap and not replacing it was clearly a mistake for the Japanese. The cap can move and can continue to shoot at and kill aircraft, so I've got to reestablish cap quickly. If I did it right, I think I can only land 3 aircraft per command token that I use for an air group on the carriers. So I would have to do 2 tokens to land 6, hypothetically, on each carrier. And so that meant that I maxed out with the bombers and I couldn't even land the fighters, so they'll have to land next turn, which is frustrating for Nagumo. He needs to land those fighters, refuel them, and now that he's been damaged, and He's identified that there are at least 2 U.S. aircraft carriers, and he's got a strike already halfway to Midway. There's a lot going on for the Japanese, and we will find out together what they do on turn 4. Again, question, comments. I'm filming several of these in advance because I only have so much time on the weekend, and then during the week I can't come back to it. So when these do finally start airing, let me know your questions, comments. If you've got the game, if you've played it. Again, this is my first playthrough. Let me know if you see that I'm making mistakes so I can go back and reread that section and clarify what I'm trying to do and what I'm supposed to do, and help me learn the game as well. I don't want to teach anyone something wrong. I did watch, as I said, Hambone's got a whole series. I skimmed through that. Again, I watched it earlier before I picked up this game. And then I also found Moffett Field's video series, which I had previously watched but had forgotten until I found it again recently. So those, highly recommend both those if you're looking at this for the first time, as I was. So with that, we'll see you on turn 4. This is Captain G, over and out.